Hello, Jennifer with JD Designs back again with another scrapbooking processing video. Today I will be featuring the second alternate layout from the Close to My Heart Workshop on the Go scrapbooking kit featuring the White Pines paper collection. This layout, shown here on the back of the scrapbooking guide, is absolutely adorable. I love the blue mixed in with the Christmas colors. So for the full cutting guide, tips and techniques, suggestions for putting together this layout, head over to my website at jddesigns.ctmh.com and click on the Workshops on the Go section. This layout today, as you can see, comes from the Reflections How-To Scrapbooking program. So this will give you a basic general design concept of how to put together this layout along with the cutting guide found on the Workshop on the Go section of the Close to My Heart website. So go ahead and set those aside and move right into our layout. All right, so here we've got the first page, which I've already done all the basic cutting to speed this process up a little bit. So we'll go ahead and start adhering everything down. As you can see, I've cut apart my pieces. We'll start with this beautiful colored chevron. I'll go ahead and stick that here in the lower left corner. I'm using my Scotch WOTG, but you can use any adhesive of your choice. And then the next piece that goes under the photo mat is this rectangle of this beautiful blue pattern. However, I am a paper hoarder and I like to save my paper and stretch my paper packets as far as I can. So what I have done, knowing that only a portion of this paper will show underneath this photo mat, I've gone ahead and cut a smaller rectangle out, and I will only be adhering down the border of this. Little tip there if you, like me, like to make your paper stretch as far as you can. So go ahead and put some adhesive on the back of that. We'll stick this piece here. Get it lined up right. There we go with that. And then we'll go ahead and lay down these two trim pieces here at the top. 1/4-inch piece of cranberry. And the great thing about using the Scotch WOTG is if your adhesive overlaps your piece at all, is too wide, you can just go ahead and use your fingers and kind of smooth it out, round it down, whatever you need to do so that that adhesive doesn't show. And we'll go ahead and apply that here at the top, which will look a little funny until we put that photo mat back on. And then again, we'll put some WOTG on the back of this glacier piece, and we'll stick that down as well. Just line it right up to the top of that one, and there we go. All right, and then we can go ahead and stick down our colonial white photo mat. And again, all of the dimensions are listed in the cutting guide, all of the photo mats and all the pieces that I'm laying down. I've just gone ahead and pre-cut them to save on time. And so then once we add that, we'll do a little stamping and we can finish putting that side of the layout together. This layout comes together rather quickly. We're going to take our chocolate ink and our gathering stamp. And with the Close to My Heart stamps, they are completely clear. They're 100% clear acrylic, so you can see your ink coverage. Go ahead and stamp that up. Oh, looks like I missed a little bit here, so we'll go ahead and add a little more ink there in that corner. You don't want to miss, you want good coverage when you're stamping. And then I've just got a scrap piece of colonial white here. I'm going to go ahead and stamp this along the edge to save on the fussy cutting. We'll apply even pressure to that stamp. Move that up so hopefully that you can see that, and we'll pull that up, and that came out rather nicely. Set that ink pad aside and move on. Grab our cranberry, and we're going to add the family stamped image along the side here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this so I can get it lined up right. Line that up. Go ahead and stamp that down. Hold it for a second so to give that ink a chance to transfer and sink into the paper. Pop that up, and looks like I got it lined up pretty closely. I'm not going to worry about being slightly off. And then I'll go ahead and grab my scissors, and I will fussy cut right along the edge of this image. Go ahead and cut this out as straight as I can. Not a huge fan of fussy cutting because I'm not the best with cutting, but you know, when you don't have a Cricut shape to cut or a die, you do your best with the fussy cutting and get it as well as you can, and just remind yourself that it is a homemade scrapbook layout, and any minor imperfections just go to show that you've actually made the project yourself rather than buying it in the store. It's a labor of love. So just about done with these little curves here on the end, little scallops. Go ahead and finish this off. Cut this piece along here. Trim a little bit off there. Trim right along here like that. Get this cut, and we'll get the rest of this layout laid down. Perfect. Get rid of the scraps. And before we can lay this down, we're actually going to add a few snowflakes. So what I will do is I'm going to go ahead and grab my pencil, lay this about where I think I want it, and using my pencil I will make some light marks here as well as along the scalloped edge here, which once I lay my piece back down you won't see these, but they will help me to line up the snowflake images. We're just going to go ahead and trace this out. You can very faintly see that, and then I will go ahead and grab my snowflake, and I'm going to stick one. Oops, I stamped it in the red. I want it in the chocolate. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that off, and then I'll go ahead and stamp it in my chocolate, and then I'll stamp one kind of up off here. I want it to be under that image slightly. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp one over here on this corner as well. And then I'm going to grab the smaller snowflake. Actually, I will go ahead and adhere this down, and then I'm going to go in with a couple of smaller snowflakes and add just a little bit more there. So we'll go ahead and line this back up with my pencil marks. Kind of hard to see at that angle, so I'm going to go ahead and lift this up here and just line that back up with my pencil marks. And there you've got those snowflakes kind of popping out the back. And then we're going to use this little snowflake, which I again stuck in the cranberry instead of the chocolate, and we'll stick it, we'll add a little snowflake there. I need to move that cranberry pad before I keep doing that. We'll stick a couple up here. Just two up there like that. And then we are going to use our White Pines assortment. These are kind of like a matte finished flare badge. They're self-adhesive. We'll take a couple of these, and I am actually, since I don't have my picture on here yet, I'm going to grab my EK Success powder tool, and I will take my powder tool and just kind of remove some of the adhesive on the back. It doesn't really remove it, instead it adds a fine layer of powder to kind of get rid of that sticky. So then what I can do is go ahead and stick this down but still be able to pop it up to apply my, to slide my picture underneath. So we'll go ahead and put that there. And it looks like we're also going to use this little holly berry flower foliage image. We'll stick that just up off to the top there. Very cute. And then we'll grab our red enamel gems, multifaceted enamel gems, and sprinkle a few of these on as well. Just be sure that when you're peeling these up that you get the little glue dot on the back, like I didn't grab it from that one. So I'll stick it back down and kind of peel again to hopefully get that glue dot to maintain that adhesive. We'll put that one there. And then we're just going to pick up one little guy for up over here. Very cute. And there is the quick and simple left page of our layout. We'll go ahead and set that aside and move on to the right page of our layout, which I'm going to go ahead and actually I'm going to need that here in a second. So we'll just leave that pad open. I was trying to move it out of the way so that I didn't accidentally stamp in it again, but it looks like we're going to need that again. So we'll go ahead and first put down our pieces here. And we're going to start with this large, I believe it's 8 by 12 piece, and we're going to put down the, we'll adhere on the chevron side so that we see the beautiful blue pattern. Oops, sorry about that. It's kind of loud. And we'll line this up. We'll stick it down here. Get that little extra adhesive there on the edge. And again, throw some adhesive on the back of this border strip. Just a couple of little spots, and we'll line that up as well, right here along the top. And before we stick down this glacier piece, we're going to go ahead and add a few snowflakes. So go ahead and flip that over. I'm going to put a snowflake here in the corner. And then I think I want another one kind of a little higher up here. And then I want to take some of these little ones. Actually, I want to do one more right about there. Just a couple little snowflakes along the edge there. And we'll add some of the smaller ones in here to kind of create a little snowflake scene. Stick another one right there. Just a cute little design detail on there. And then we'll go ahead, throw some adhesive on the back here, and we will stick this piece down as well. I love how quickly layouts come together using the Close to My Heart Workshop on the Go kits. And then we'll grab our photo mats. We've got this mat here, which I believe this one will hold a 5x7 picture. It'll go right along here like this. Just want to make sure I have that far enough over for the embellishments that are going to come. Then we're going to take our journaling piece and stamp a couple little ornaments in the top corner. So we'll stamp one right about like here. And then we're going to stamp the other one just kind of up and off to the top a little bit, so it looks like it's hanging a little bit shorter, like that. And once we have that done, we're actually going to layer this piece up a little bit, and we'll put our colonial white base on our cranberry layer, and then for some added dimension, we'll go ahead and put the cranberry layer on another colonial white layer here, which will then make our journaling block the same size as our photo mat that we're going to place below it. So we'll go ahead, put a little more adhesive on the back there. Whoops, almost lost that one. And then we're going to stick that right about here, down just a little bit. And then we'll go ahead and add our last photo mat, lining up the side edge with this photo mat and the bottom edge with this photo mat. We'll stick this one down here. And then we'll decorate this page, embellish this page. I need my sweet little, here they are, my sweet little flare badges again. I'm going to use this Christmas tree and stick it along the side here, kind of right about there. And that one I'll go ahead and fully stick down because I'm not worried about it being overlapping, because I'm just going to put my journaling here later on. Then we're going to stick a few more of these enamel gems down. And we'll stick a couple here. There. I absolutely love these. They are just the finishing touch for a layout. I love just kind of sprinkling them around. And oh, that's upside down, so we'll stick this one. It wants to stick to my hand, so we'll stick that one there. Kind of like that. Actually, no, I want that one to move over. Try to get that one back up, but I think I might have the glue stuck on. Yeah, so we'll just make that one work there. And then we'll stick another little one up here, like that. And then I'm going to stick a few up in the snowflake area. I want to stick a one here, like that. Actually, I move over just a little bit. There, we'll stick another. Not doing a very good job at peeling these up today. We'll stick another one kind of up here, and we'll stick one of these little baby ones over off here, just to add some texture and a little bit of shimmer to the page. And then before we finish that layout off, call that layout good, we're going to go ahead and take one more scrap of Colonial White, as well as our red, cranberry red ink pad, and we're going to go ahead and ink up the Remember These Moments stamp. And this one I'm going to have to swirl around a little bit. We'll do some tapping and some twisting. Make sure I get it fully covered. And as you can see here, I've got a lot of excess ink on my block. Not a big deal when you're only stamping on a small scrap like this, but if you were stamping on a larger piece of paper or directly onto your layout, just simply grab a baby wipe and clean off your block before setting that ink down. And looks like I snagged a little spot there, so I'll go ahead and ink that spot back up, which then caused me to get more ink back on my block. It's a never-ending battle, but we'll go ahead and line this up along here and make sure I'm on screen so you can see me there. And we'll go ahead and stamp this right along the edge there. Hold this down for a moment and you can see that ink starting to soak into the paper. Give it a minute and some firm pressure across like that. We'll pop it off and there we go. Beautiful cranberry Remember These Moments. And I will take my scissors again and I will just fussy cut the edge of this to give it that little banner flagged look at the front. Trim that piece off. And then I did have a little extra of the Colonial White here, so I'm just going to go ahead and trim that off. Cut right along the edge of the stamp here. Get that off of there. Perfect. Get rid of that, and then we'll flag the end here. And there we go. Now this is actually going to overlap the photo slightly. I'm going to actually put that here. So what I like to do when I'm not sticking my pictures down is if I use foam squares to kind of give it some added dimension, I'll go ahead and stick several foam squares on the back of it, like I would as if I was going to stick it down. Whoops, and that one's not going to work because I tore the paper off the back. But I'll go ahead and stick them down here, and then what I'll do is I'll only take the adhesive backing off the one, and then I will leave these on until I have my photo, and then I will stick the rest of them down. But we'll go ahead and just kind of lay that here, and then once I get my picture on there, I can go ahead and pull the rest of those off and stick the rest of that down. So there we go, a quick and easy 2-page layout. All ready for some family Christmas pictures. Maybe Christmas morning or Christmas dinner. Be great. And we'll go ahead and I will take some still shots and put them up on my blog, as well as a list of the supplies that I used for this project. And if you're interested in any of these supplies, any of these products, or any of our other fabulous Close to My Heart products, as always, you can visit me on my online store at jddesigns.ctmh.com. I will leave a link down here in the video description or comments, as well as a link to my blog where you can find those still pictures. And as always, remember to design it from your heart. Thank you.